So the next big question we're asking, is the army right in refusing permanent commission to women? That's the big question that we are raising. Let's look at the pros and the cons of this debate. First, why should there be a permanent commission for women? The army needs to change with the times, is the big question that is there. Against, it adds pressure on the commanders to have women working in the battalion. For, not giving permanent commission means mere lip service to gender equality. Against a permanent commission, national security cannot be seen through the prism of gender alone. Let's look now at the third reason why there should be a permanent commission. Not giving them permanent commission means denying women their due, say those supporting it. Against, they are ill-equipped to command battalions, say those against giving women a permanent commission. Okay, two sides of the story. Let's go straight across to our guests who join us on our talking point. Retired Major General G.D. Bakshi joins us from Gurgaon. Also joining us is BJP leader Smriti Irani from Mumbai. She's the one who's taken up the cause of these women officers. First to you, General Bakshi, people will say the army is behind the times. How do you respond to that? The world is changing, the Indian army is not.
I think, Rajdeep, there is a need to go beyond tokenism. You see, we have very specific functional and cultural factors which are presently posing a constraint on the employment of women in the army and granting them permanent commission, which would open them to the role of, command of troops in the field.
Okay.
Please don't forget the fact that 80% of our troops are from a rural background.
Okay.
They have a particular cultural mindset. They have a cultural constraint. They are not prepared to accept, women in these command positions, women in these exposed positions.
So you're saying it's a cultural problem?
I mean, I've been in combat.
You're saying it's primarily a cultural problem?
At the moment, a very definite, not only a cultural, also a functional problem. When the women operate with us in the field,
right.
I mean, where do you provide them that privacy for their bathing, for their ablutions, morning functions? When all the men rough it out, it's a different thing.
Okay, let's get Smriti Irani to respond. Two points that the general is making there. There are cultural problems, Smriti, and there are functional problems to allow the women to have a permanent commission in the army.
It's amazing that there are absolutely no cultural implications on the Indian Air Force when they give women the permanent commission status. It is amazing that there is no cultural implication for men in uniform when they salute the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, who happens to be a woman. I think today the Army, which has had female officers for over 16 years, needs to understand that women cannot be kept out of rights which the Constitution guarantees. Today what women seek is an equal status to a male officer. It is extremely simple what they demand. A woman has been commissioned for 5 years, that commission is extended for 5 more years and another 4 years. After 14 years of service, she is told that she is no longer needed in the army. After 14 years of service, she is told that she will have absolutely no benefits. After 14 years of service, she is told that she has no ex-service person status. A male Jawan, for that matter, after 15 years of service gets pensions, medical benefits. After retirement, a male officer can be recalled back for 4 years of service again.
But you're not answering the question. The general is raising practical and functional problems. What about, he says, the right to privacy? A woman in a battalion will want a right to privacy.
Rajdeep,
yes.
Are you telling me that these rights are ignored for 14 years when a woman is serving, and suddenly these rights become the stumbling block for women to go forward after 14 years?
Right. General Bakshi, respond to that whether it's the right to privacy, why is it what is the problem with the permanent commission? Once you've inducted women into the army, and as Priti says, the Air Force has done so, why is the army being different to the Air Force?
Let me explain that. There is a very cogent reason for it. The Air Force and the Navy are equipment-intensive services. You see, they do not have that large a proportion of rural manpower intake. It is the Army in its infantry battalion, in its non-combat arms also, where there is a much larger percentage. In fact, 70 to 80% of our men are from the rural cultural extraction.
And you're saying rural cultural men will not accept a battalion commander who's a woman. You're saying the rural army men will not accept a woman as his battalion commander.